morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today is day 24, and we are going to read the chapter 5 here. So let's get started. I don't think this video is going to be streaming on Facebook because I woke up late, and Facebook don't allow people who wake up late, right? Everything is looking fine here. So yeah, let's just read the chapter 5. But before I start reading, as always, as a ritual, I'm going to check the number of pages that we are going to read today. Okay, so it will be today. I don't need to read so much, but that's actually I'm lucky me. So I have to read only 82 pages. Okay, 17 pages only. That's it. Yeah, I have to read only 17 pages today, and let me just check whether I actually have to read 17 pages only, because when I made this distribution I was not sure that. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, I'm going to read only 17 pages today. Anyways, so yeah, let's just start reading. So Facebook don't allow this live stream, so the reason is I'm late. So the chapter name is Clarity, Discipline and Consistency. I don't know what I'm going to do with this clarity, discipline and consistency, but because it's the part of actually the alternate perspective, like other than fear, other than manipulation, what are the techniques that we can use? That's the actual thing. So that is the alternate perspective. So first we saw the golden circle and yesterday, and he also talked about the biology, how our biology, like the neurocortex, actually how neurocortex take decision, and how limbic brain is totally different from the neurocortex. That's what we understood yesterday. But so today we are going to read the clarity, discipline and consistency. I really don't like this chapter name. It doesn't make sense anything. Okay. So here he says that nature actually replaces everything that is gone from there. Like even if an animal is not there, there is another animals are being born in this world, so that other animals can eat them and survive. So nature always keep producing this thing. So here he is talking about this thing, about the mother nature, and also he says that like starting with why is not the only solution. We need to care for other things as well. So yeah, so because he says that when businesses have the fuzzy sense of why, because like they don't know what they are doing, it's really tough for the consumer as well. It's increased the stress of the consumer as well, and also it increases the uncertainty of the seller as well, because they don't know whether the buyer will buy their product or not. But because why should they buy their product if they're only giving some features, even if they're giving some novelty, then people are going to buy this, right? So because they don't have a sense of why, right? So if they don't know why they're selling their products, they won't be sure that people will be buying their product or not, right? So this also increases the stress all over, like stress for the sellers and stress for the buyers as well, because buyers gets confused. Like I was literally confused when I was out there for the to buy a laptop, because all the laptops were competing for the prices, as well as it's not only that they were competing for the prices, they were actually competing for the customer service, how their employees behave there, and they were competing for all the aspects, the design, the look, and each and every aspect I would say that they were competing for, and how many service centers they have. So I had to look at each and every aspect. It was a stress for me, because because the laptop that I bought, I had no brand in mind, first thing, because I didn't care which brand I'm buying. I have no, I had no feelings when I was buying this kind of thing. So that's the thing. When we don't have this, when brands don't have this sense of why, it's very tough for the brand to, stay on the game. So yeah, it increases the stress all over. Like I was also stressed because I had no brand in mind, right? So if I had a brand in mind, then the decision would have been easier, because I would have just see that which one goes into my budget, and if they if it gives all the features or not, right? Yeah. So he says that to make this golden circle to work, each pieces must be in balance, in the right order, right? So in golden circle, so the golden circle is I hope it's clear to you. So the golden circle is the why, what, how. Okay, so it's why, how, what. This is the golden circle that we have shown yesterday. So he says that to make this golden circle work, we need to balance this thing out. It's not like that I have a clear sense of why, but I don't know how and what I'm going to do it. So it's not going to make sense, right? So everything needs to be in balance, but we also need a why, right? Suppose I am thinking that I want to change the world, so that's why I want to grow, but how and what I will do, I have no idea. So these things are not going to work. So this to make this golden circle work, we need to have some clarity, discipline, and consistency. Now the chapter makes some sense, right? For that you need to read this, and also you need to read all those. I hate this chapter names. So clarity of why, right? So he says that we need a clarity of why, because if we don't know that why we're doing something, let me just focus. Okay, so if we don't know that why we are doing something, it's not going to work out. Because so especially in the space of leader, so if they don't trust their leader, and if they don't know that why he or she wants to be the leader, so it's going to be very tough for people to actually take the decision. Yes, as a politician, politicians can manipulate you to give them votes, but it does not make them a leader. That because you are following him because of some manipulation, you are not exactly trust him with all the mind, because he don't have a sense of why. So that's why we actually, for the politicians, they needs to have a clear sense of why, because why they are doing what they are doing. If they don't have this, people are not going to follow him. So it's other than that, they can use manipulation to make you follow, but that does not really make sense. Because if you take the example of the Martin Luther King Junior, so when he asked for that, I have a dream, but in that time there was not like Facebook, Twitter or anything like that. So people didn't, they didn't send any invitations to any people, like thousands of people. He didn't do this, but there are thousands of people actually were there to make the America united, and that was a great story that I really quite like that story. So yeah, it was the story was there in this book. And so yeah, so to actually lead, we need to have a clear sense of why. So other than that, people will not let you lead if you don't know what you are doing. So why you are doing this, right? So yeah. So discipline of how is actually talks about he said that finding the just getting the why we are doing is relatively easy, and he's going to talk about it more in the later chapters. But it is the how which is the most a tough thing in this area, because he said that to actually make things work, we, even if we know that why we are doing it, we need to understand that how we are going to do it, right? So people here he gives a very nice example, that he said that we write nouns and verbs in the office or everywhere to actually make us remember that what we are, how we are going to do this, right? Why we're doing this we know, but how we are going to do this, we write it on the wall, we write it on the posters and everywhere, to make us remember that how we are doing it, right? So he says another nice thing is like, if you are right, if you are saying that, or if you are writing honesty on the wall, then there is obviously a huge problem out there, because like you don't need to write on the wall about the honesty, because it's just a noun. You need to tell people that do the right thing, right? You don't need to say okay honesty, because writing this thing makes actually is makes you something like that there is some problem that is already going on there regarding honesty, right? So, and also here he talks about like we don't need to write integrity in the wall, or in the poster. We just need to say our employees or people that always do the right thing, right? So that's going to help us to clear our how, that how can we discipline us to actually motivate the goal of why, right? So because I know why we're doing this, right? But I need to also be disciplined about how we are doing it, right? So suppose I want the reason I'm reading at the morning is because I want to why I'm doing this is like I wanted to grow as a person and as a human being, and also be disciplined, right? But it's the toughest part is the how, because I need to wake up early, and today I could not so I need to wake up early, I need to be disciplined on this how. So like if even if I write on my wall like 5 a.m, it does not make me like wake up in the 5 a.m, right? So I just need to make sure that it's a verb, that okay, wake up early, right? So that kind of things actually works. So how is the most toughest part, because you need to be disciplined around this section, that how you're going to do something, right? So even if all the clarity you have about the why, right? So then comes the consistency of what, right? So I'm gonna read a line from here. After all, we live in a tangible world. The only way people will know what you believe is by the things you say and do. And if you are not consistent in the things you say and do, no one will know what you believe. So here he's talking about a term that is really needed for the brand or anyone who wants to become a brand. I think it's called the authenticity, and he's saying that he have seen brands doing how to be authentic. Brands are being seen that they are doing customer survey, they're asking people what should we do to so that will make us look authentic. So he says that this totally beats the purpose of authenticity, because authenticity is all about the answer. You are just being authentic. You don't need to ask customer that what should I do to make ourselves look authentic. You be yourselves, that is the authenticity, right? So he says that everything needs to be in a proportion, like in the golden ratio, like why, how and what, then we will look authentic. Because if we know why we are doing, and our how also reflects our why, and what we are doing also reflects our why, then people will see us as authentic, because they will know what I am thinking and what I am creating and what I am doing for the world, right? So they will understand, okay, whatever that guy or whatever that brand is doing the correct thing. So that is called the being authentic, right? So authenticity is not about, authenticity is not about like you need to force it. You need to ask someone else to get feedback on the authenticity. Authenticity is all about whatever you are thinking, whatever why whatever the reason that you are currently doing something that you are doing, you and your action should reflect all this thing as well. So right, so that will make you authentic. So it's not like that you're saying something, you're thinking something and you're doing something else. So that does not make you authentic, right? So here I'm going to read a line from here which I quite like. Ask the best salesman what it takes to be a great salesman. They will always tell you that it helps when you really believe in the product you are selling. What does belief have to do with a sales job? Simple. When salesmen actually believe in the thing they are selling, then the words that come out of their mouths are authentic, right? So when belief enters the equation, passion exudes from the salesman. It is the authenticity that produces the relationship upon which all the best sales organizations are based. Relationships also build trust, and with trust comes loyalty, right? So he says that even if you ask a great salesperson and ask him that how can you make sales and when it works better, all the salesmen will tell you that whenever they believe in the product that they are selling. Suppose I'm selling a pen, suppose I'm selling a mouse, I don't know because I purchased a new mouse and I posted on the Instagram. Here are all the links that you can see right now on the screen. Please go ahead and follow me. That is my YouTube channel, and I hope that you will subscribe to this. And yeah, and right now that you can see is the Instagram profile. Go ahead and follow me. I post a lot of stories and images and videos and all the great posts there, and also Twitter where I post all the quotes, and I dump each and everything on the Facebook that you are currently seeing. So I highly recommend that you follow me on only one social media wherever you're so much active. You don't have to go everywhere and follow me around. So yeah, so it's about that the salesman, if the salesman actually believe that what they're selling, it really helps. Because if suppose I'm selling a pen and I don't even believe that whether this pen actually works or not, whether this pen all the saying the fluid ink or not, because I haven't experienced it or anything like that, I won't be telling. Whatever the things will come out of my mouth will not be authentic, right? I will be just try to make the sales as quickly as possible, because I have given this task, right, to sell the product, because I don't have any relationship or the belief with that specific product, right? So it's going to make the sales a lot tough. And if I'm authentic and if I believe on the product, it's going to make the increase the it's going to make it authentic, right? And actually he says that authenticity actually produces relationship in the organizations, and relationships actually build trust, and trust comes with loyalty. So if people trust you so much, they will be loyal at some point of time. If you keep doing this, people will be loyal to you. Because see, even if you come up with all the great technology, with all the innovation, with all the novelty, you come up with a product and you offer it to the audience, to the people, or to the general public. If they don't trust you, or if maybe they buy their product because it's a new product, similarly new in the market, and they showed their love, but that does not make them your loyal customer. If they don't believe you what you do, so it's going to be hard for you to actually make the sales again, right? So it's really important that people really trust you. So to do that, you need to be authentic. So you need to be very authentic. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing, your results should actually reflect this, right? So yeah. He says that being authentic is not a requirement for success, but it is if you want that success to be a lasting success. So you don't need to be authentic to be a successful brand or successful people. But if you want a success which is lasting, like long term success, you need to be authentic, right? So people are not going to be there for you all the time. They will, and but if you are authentic, they will be with you, they will be loyal, they people will be always with you. So that actually makes this a lasting success, right? It's a very nice term, because we can do something groundbreaking suddenly and make bring success for us. But if we don't know that how and why we are doing this, people are not going to be with us for a long period of time, right? So yeah, this sense of why it's really needed. He says that whatever we do, the golden circles, what it says, the ordering does matter, because we need to start with why. The reason is that if we don't trust, actually why provides a context, means it provides a ground, it provides a stage, that what we are doing is this is the stage that makes it, why actually makes it for you. And this is really important, that you know why you are doing something, that will actually drive better results in the what and how, right? So let me just charge my phone here. So when Southwest actually started, Southwest Airlines, they did, when they asked that who are your competition, because there are only 15% of the population who actually used to travel through airplanes. So that Southwest said that we are actually competing against bus and yeah, we are actually competing against bus, right? So the car and bus. So actually what Southwest was trying to say, that we are actually competing for the 85, we are there for the common people, and those are the 85% of the people who wants, who we want them to make our customer. So so that was the cause of the Southwest, right? So here is the thing, that their tagline was like, you are now free to move about the country. So that's the simple thing that they said in their advertisement. And there was not so much categories, because Southwest had this sense of like, they needs to be fun. So they come up with this with categories like nights or weekends and daytimes. That's simple and fun, right? So when you the loyalty actually creates when people know that why you are doing and what you're doing and how you're doing, and all this thing reflects each other. It's not like that you're doing something else and you're saying something else, you're thinking something else. It's not like that. When you're being authentic, when people understand that whatever the things that you're doing is actually for your cause, so uh, that's if they can understand that, people will be loyal to you and they will help you build this loyal relationship to develop, right? And so it's very important. So here he's saying that manipulation and inspiration both tickle the limbic brain. So manipulation also work in our limbic brain, and the inspiration also tickle the limbic brain itself. But here's the thing, so when we are manipulated with the fear or aspirations, we do something out of insecurity or uncertainty, right? But when we go beyond that, we find that inspiration, and we find that inspiration, the decision we make, so is for ourselves. It's not about the product we are buying, because see, if we are inspired to buy a product, it doesn't really matter if we face any problems or consequences in the future, because we are going to take it upon ourselves, because we believe that product, we actually trust that product. Also and also it's really important that the and it makes us authentic rather than the product itself. So the reason is that if we are buying something and we don't know why we are buying this, then we are the one who feels the less authentic. We don't feel authentic, right? So that makes the whole equation totally goes wrong in this case, right? So it's really important that we get inspired to buy the things that we are actually buying, right? I'm going to read this. The human animal is a social animal. We are very good at sensing subtleties in behavior and judging people accordingly. We get good feelings and bad feelings about companies, just as we get good feelings and bad feelings about people. There are some people we just feel we can trust, and others we just feel we can't. Those feelings also manifest when organizations try to court us. Our ability to feel one way or another toward a person or an organization is the same. What changes is who is talking to us, but it is always a single individual who is listening. Even when a company airs its message on TV, for example, No matter how many people see the commercial, it is always and only an individual that can receive the message. This is the value of the golden circle. It provides a way to communicate consistent with how individuals receive information. For this reason, an organization must be clear about its purpose, cause, or belief, and make sure that everything they say and do is consistent with and authentic to that belief. If the levels of golden circle are in balance, all those who share the organization's view of the world will be drawn to it and its products like a moth to a light bulb. So if those ratio and the golden circle is in balance, people will obviously lean towards that product, to buy that product and to be loyal with the product as well, right? Yeah. So header is like, doing business is like dating. Let's read what is it. So here he talks about bread. Bread was out there for a date night, and he met a girl. And when he met a girl, he said this thing. Let me just read it as it is. Bread says, "I'm extremely rich. I have a big house, and I drive a beautiful car. I know lots of famous people. I am on TV all the time, which is good because I am good looking. I have actually done pretty well for myself." So he says that that was the first pitch, and the author says that if you're not clear about your why, you are going to say all this thing. The reason is that you need words to drive your why, because see, words actually don't drive decisions. So words should be used as a proof only to why, right? So because if you're saying that what you're doing, it does not actually helps the girl to be with you, right? So the date is not going to work out. He says that next time we're going to send the bread again and see how we can go from that golden circle to why, how, and what, right? So next time when bread were out, he says this, "You know what I love about my life?" He starts this time. I get to wake up every day to do something I love. I get to inspire people to do the things that inspire them. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. In fact, the best part is trying to figure out all the different ways I can do that. It is really amazing. And believe it or not, I have been actually able to make a lot of money from it. I bought a big house and a nice car. I get to meet lots of famous people, and I get to be on TV all the time, which is fun because I'm good looking. I'm very lucky that I'm doing something that I love. I have actually been able to do pretty well because of it, right? So he says that this time the chances of getting a second date for bread actually increases, because if someone believes that what you believe, the relationship is going to align, and also he is building a good foundation for the relationship. That relationship will be based on the values and beliefs, not because you are a good looking, not because you have a car, right? It is because that you have created this grounded basic ground for the relationship, which is value, right, and trust. So that was really important, and he says that the chances of getting date actually will increase after that for bread. So yeah. Here he is giving another example, which is by the office, or an organization, right? Let's just read how it goes. So here is two business pitches that I'm going to read from here. In one scenario, the business is saying like this: our company is extremely successful. We have beautiful offices. You should stop by and check them out sometime. We do business with all the biggest companies and brands. I'm sure you have seen our advertising. We are actually doing pretty well. So they started with this what they do and how they're doing it, right? Then some call to action. Now here is another pitch. You know what I love about our company? Every single one of us comes to work every day to do something what we love. We get to inspire people to do the things that inspire them. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. In fact, the fun part is trying to figure out all the different ways we can do that. It really is amazing. The best part is it is also good for business. We really do well. We have beautiful offices. You should stop by sometime to see. We work with some of the biggest companies. I'm sure you have seen our ads. We're actually doing pretty well, right? So now, how certain are you that second pitch was better than the first? Obviously the second pitch was really better, because they have started with their why people comes to their company at the first place. So it's really important, right? He says that when we rely on the neurocortex to make logical decisions, we have to say this to ourselves, that okay, whatever we are doing may it's maybe it's right, I'm doing the right thing, we just do this, that time neurocortex actually takes control, because neurocortex has voice, it has language. So suppose I'm buying a seeing a lot of pros and cons of laptop like Dell, HP and some other companies, but then I make a purchase, then my neurocortex will say, okay, whatever the decisions I make was right. But if I actually believe that the product that I am buying is good for us, it doesn't really matter who comes up with a lot of great pros, or with compared to the product that I'm buying. It doesn't really matter for me, because I believe on the product that I'm buying. If this kind of things happens, the decision will feel right. It's not like I have to say that okay, it's right, the decision I took is right, because this decision will feel right. So it's totally different, and this is called the gut, because with the decision that we're taking is from the gut. So here is an example. He says that a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you that the reason of their success, of all the good decisions that they have taken, was because they listened to their gut, right? So they trusted their gut. So they will say that I trust my gut. So, and if they ask that and which cases, whenever you took wrong decisions, what really happened on that case, they will and they most of the time tell you that I didn't trust my gut at that case, I trusted whoever people were saying to me, I did that, that's why the decision was totally wrong, right? So that really happens, right? So yeah, we need to trust our gut here, right? He says that, but it is really, gut decision is for only individual, it's not really for the organization, because it's a perfect strategy for individual, because gut decisions can be taken by only one person. So if I feel that okay, my gut says that I India should take up that policy, it doesn't really matter that all the people are going to agree with me and do this, right? So it's really important that when we are in an organization, or in a country leading somewhere, it's not really possible to take this gut decision, right? So let's see how we can do this as an organization. And he says that that's when the power of why can be fully realized, right? So whenever we can't really take these gut decisions because we are not alone here, that's when the power of why actually comes into the picture, right? So let's see. I'm going to read this. It offers the why, the ability to put a why into words, provide the emotional context for decisions. It offers greater confidence than I think it's right. It's more scalable than I feel it's right. When you know your why, the highest level of confidence you can offer is I know it's right. Okay, so you don't need to say that okay, I think it's right, I feel it's right. You don't need to say all this thing because you know it's right? But when you can rationalize it and easily put into words, right, the decision is fully balanced. The rational words offer proof for the feeling of why, right? Okay, if you can verbalize that feeling that drove the gut decision, if you can clearly state your why, you will provide a clear context for those around you to understand why that decision was made, right? So if you are 100% sure that why you are doing this, and you are taking a gut decision, you can make people believe that why you are doing this stuff, right? So it's really important that your why, you have a clear sense of why, right? Because you can provide a clear context to the people. Okay, that's the reason, see, that's the reason I'm doing this, that's the reason we are doing this as an organization, so that people will believe you, and they will have this loyalty to you, because whatever you're doing and whatever you're suggesting, whatever you're thinking is all aligns with each other, right? And also you have a clear sense of why you're doing this, right? Because the decisions you are taking, it's not like that we feel it's right, maybe it's going to be right, it's you're sure that it's going to work, you know it's right. Okay, so that is that is really important. I'm going to read this line. The goal of business should not be to do business with anyone who simply wants what you have. It should be to focus on the people who believe what you believe. Even we are selective about doing business only with those who believe in our why. Trust emerges. So in business, people really needs to believe each other, that what it's not like that on they simply wants to have what you have. They should be, they should focus on what you believe also, because as a business, people, all the business have their own beliefs, all the business or the people who are who are getting connected to the business, they needs to believe whatever you believe, right? So it's really important that they understand your why you are doing something as a business, and that needs to really align. So that's when the trust emerges. So that's when people can trust each other and be loyal to each other. So that was it for the part 2 was done, and I have completed only 17 pages was there, right? And in the chapter 5. So it was day 24, guys, and thank you so much again for tuning in. And that was a small streaming, I guess, for today. So have a good day, and yeah, follow me everywhere that you find ImpleBooks.